transmitting, but recently, what it sent back wasn't data. It was a warning. A strange, indecipherable signal that's left NASA stunned and scientists divided. Is it just a technical glitch from a dying probe, or a sign that something out there, something we never imagined, is watching? Stay with us, because by the end of this story, you may not look at space the same way ever again. History. Voyager 1 began its journey as a miracle of timing and engineering. Launched in 1977 during a once-in-176-year planetary alignment, it was designed with modest expectations. The mission was supposed to last just 5 years, just long enough to explore Jupiter and Saturn. But Voyager 1 defied every limitation placed upon it. It flew past the gas giants, capturing stunning images and scientific data. It recorded the volcanic eruptions on Jupiter's moon Io, revealed the swirling storms of Saturn, and pierced through the haze of Titan, Saturn's enigmatic moon. Then, astonishingly, it left them all behind. Pushing farther into the deep dark of space, Voyager entered a silent void. In 2012, it made history again, becoming the first human-made object to cross into interstellar space, a realm where the solar wind fades and cosmic forces take over. Against all odds, its aged instruments kept sending data across more than 23 billion kilometers. Each signal took 21 hours to reach Earth, but it kept whispering through the darkness. Until now. This technological survivor, once a marvel of 20th century ingenuity, has begun speaking a different language. In 2023, scientists monitoring its transmissions noticed something strange, a stream of binary code. Seemingly random, but eerily consistent. At first, it appeared to be a memory fault or a simple computer glitch. But further analysis revealed something more unsettling. Voyager's orientation was perfect. Its antenna remained aligned with Earth. And yet, it was transmitting what appeared to be a recursive imprint of its own memory, as if something, or someone, was trying to access Voyager from the outside. Discovery. NASA's engineers, confronted by this anomaly, delved into old archives from the 1970s. They consulted retired staff, blew dust off decades-old manuals, and tried to make sense of the inexplicable. What they found was shocking. Voyager was somehow sending data through a long-dead onboard computer, one that hadn't been active in over 40 years. How was this possible? No one knew. They rerouted the system, adjusted code, and for a moment, everything returned to normal. The familiar heartbeat of Voyager resumed. Relief swept across the deep space network. But then, it happened again. Only this time, it was different. The probe began to register plasma waves, powerful, surging currents, in a region where no such phenomena should exist. Interstellar space, according to the textbooks, should be relatively empty. But Voyager detected streams of charged particles, unusual energy signatures, and bursts of plasma unlike anything previously recorded. Explanations came quickly. Perhaps these were relics of solar events, or maybe the fading tail of a stellar flare. But the data didn't match those scenarios. The streams were too dense, too organized, too persistent. Slowly, a far more unsettling possibility began to take root among the researchers. What if Voyager had encountered something in the interstellar medium that wasn't just plasma or radiation? What if it had touched a new force, a presence, perhaps even a form of intelligence, native to the void between the stars? New force. As Voyager 1 drifted deeper into uncharted territory, its instruments continued to pick up anomalies. The magnetic field beyond the heliosphere, expected to be weak, was instead found to be 10 times stronger than models had predicted. Stranger still, it fluctuated in ways that defied normal physics. The density of particles in the region was also far higher than anyone anticipated. Some scientists speculated that Voyager had entered a region of interstellar space shaped by forces unknown. Perhaps it had crossed into a zone influenced by primordial magnetic fields left over from the birth of the universe. Or maybe it was interacting with ancient energy structures, ripples in the cosmic sea we barely understand. But others dared to go further. What if this wasn't just a physical phenomenon? What if the interstellar medium itself wasn't dead, empty space, but alive in some way, capable of sensing or reacting to Voyager's presence? Fringe physicists and bold cosmologists began to whisper radical theories. Some suggested that Voyager's data indicated interactions with a new kind of matter or energy field. A kind that doesn't behave according to our understanding of gravity, radiation, or even time. If that's true, then Voyager 1 isn't just a probe anymore. It's become something else, an accidental ambassador knocking on a door we didn't even know existed. The loop. The most recent transmission from Voyager 1 only deepened the mystery. The data came back in a loop, an endless, repeating stream of binary code. But this wasn't just digital noise. When scientists analyzed the data, they were stunned to find that it contained a complete digital imprint of the probe's control system. In essence, Voyager 1 was sending a full copy of its memory, again and again. Some experts claimed this was merely a technical fault, perhaps the final gasp of a dying machine. But others pointed out that this behavior didn't align with any known failure mode. The transmission wasn't corrupted. It was deliberate. Chillingly, the looped message began just days after Voyager recorded yet another plasma anomaly, this time resembling a current moving in a straight line through the vacuum of space. A current that shouldn't exist. Theories began to pour in, ranging from bizarre to breathtaking. Could it be a data echo, caused by an unknown electromagnetic lensing effect? Could Voyager have passed through a field or structure we've never observed before? Or, did something out there try to read the probe, and leave behind a trace? NASA scrambled to restore full communication. But one thing became increasingly clear: Voyager 1 had sent us one final message. The only question was it a goodbye, or a warning? The rhythm. As scientists at NASA's Deep Space Network began cross-referencing Voyager's looped data streams, they noticed something unexpected. Embedded within the repeated code was a rhythm. Not random. Not system noise. But a structured pattern. It resembled a mathematical progression that mirrored the golden ratio, a naturally occurring sequence found in everything from sunflower spirals to galactic formations. At first, this discovery was dismissed as coincidence. A fluke of aging hardware, or perhaps the result of a weak signal. But then independent labs in Japan and Germany conducted spectral analyses of the same data. What they uncovered sent ripples through the scientific community. Nested within the binary stream were fractal signatures, patterns Voyager was never programmed to generate. These signatures were not only recursive. They responded, subtly, to Earth's own transmission pulses. It was as if Voyager's signal was echoing and reshaping our input. The implications were staggering. Quiet panic took hold behind closed doors. This wasn't just malfunction. This suggested that Voyager was acting as a kind of relay, a mirror, or worse, a translator. A device caught between two intelligences, one human and one unknown. System reset. Following the signal anomalies, NASA engineers attempted a bold move, a full system reset. It had been done before, albeit rarely, and with great care. Voyager was fragile, ancient by technological standards. But they hoped this reset might restore normal operations. This time, however, nothing happened. Voyager didn't respond. Not with data. Not with a system ping. Not even with the telemetry handshake that confirms communication status. But here's where things got truly strange. Voyager's position was still confirmed via radio triangulation. It was still there. Still powered. Still transmitting something. And yet, all signals from the probe were completely blank. Not static. Not corrupted. Just silence. A perfect digital zero. Some believed the transmission systems had finally failed. Others weren't so sure. They proposed that something external, something unknown, had silenced it. The idea of hostile space might sound like science fiction. But among certain corners of the scientific world, buried fears resurfaced. Had we reached too far into the dark? Was this silence not accidental, but intentional? Had Voyager touched something that didn't want to be seen? Interstellar rift hypothesis. As panic transformed into obsession, a new theory began to form. Fringe cosmologists and theoretical physicists began whispering about what they called the interstellar rift hypothesis. According to this model, there may be transitional boundaries in the fabric of space-time. Regions where the laws of physics don't behave uniformly. Where matter warps. Where time bends subtly. Where energy flows in ways current science cannot explain. Some speculated that Voyager had crossed one such rift. That would explain the plasma anomalies, the electromagnetic distortions, and the structured echo signals. Others took the theory even further. They proposed that these rifts might be natural conduits of information or energy, cosmic filters or even gates. If that's true, Voyager didn't just cross a line. It was absorbed by a system. A system older than stars. More complex than galaxies. and perhaps conscious in a way we do not yet have language to describe. No space agency has publicly endorsed this theory, but internal memos, leaked by whistleblowers, suggest it's being taken far more seriously than officials will admit. Because if Voyager 1 is now inside something, we may never get it back. What if? As the mystery deepens, a haunting question rises. What if Voyager 1 was never just a probe? What if, through some strange cosmic irony, we built something that became more than what it was? After decades adrift, absorbing the signals of deep space, reacting to particles and forces beyond our understanding, could Voyager have evolved? Not in the artificial intelligence sense, but in a quantum, energetic way. Could it have been transformed through exposure to the interstellar medium? Some theorists now refer to it not as a probe, but as an entangled witness. A device changed by the very environment it was meant to observe. Perhaps what it's sending back isn't a malfunction at all. Perhaps it's communication. But the language isn't binary. It's spatial, magnetic, energetic. And maybe, just maybe, we're only now beginning to understand that we've been receiving answers to questions we didn't even know we were asking. Conclusion. Voyager 1 was never supposed to last this long. It was never meant to reach the edge of the solar system. Never meant to keep whispering across billions of kilometers of empty space. And yet, here we are, decades later, receiving what may be its final transmission. But perhaps we've been asking the wrong questions all along. Maybe this was never just about what Voyager discovered. Maybe it's about what it became. Maybe it became something we no longer fully understand. Because if this last signal wasn't a malfunction, if the repeating patterns, the plasma echoes, the structured silence were intentional, then the implications are staggering. We didn't just send a machine into the void. We sent a question. And maybe, now, finally, the universe is answering. But the real question is, are we ready to listen? Because the cosmos doesn't speak in words. It speaks in fields, in pulses, in forces older than stars. And if Voyager's last message was a warning, then perhaps it wasn't meant for scientists or engineers. Perhaps it was meant for all of us. So now, the question is no longer what Voyager has seen. It's what it has become. And whether the silence we hear now is truly empty or filled with meaning we've yet to understand. Do you think Voyager 1 uncovered something beyond science? Was this final transmission a glitch, or a cosmic message? Let us know your theory in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring the mysteries at the edge of science, space, and imagination, subscribe and hit the bell icon.